went by there and there wasn't no water anywhere. Everything was put up, so I'm guessing.
Here comes the concrete truck. That's all the Portland cement. Mules. A donkey and a horse. And I think the donkey gets a stool. On our first flight from London to India, instead of giving plastic utensils like they did on the flight from the United States to London, they gave out wood utensils. And something I've noticed on this entire trip is they use compostable materials, like the terracotta coffee cups, or that chai's served in also, or they're paper, but there's very little single-use plastic. Of course, what little single-use plastic there is becomes a problem. It ends up on the beaches, and most of the flip-flops, you blow out the thong in the middle and they end up in the trash or who knows where.
On the road. They just left right there.
Yeah, just left behind. But using, compostable materials pays off. Like, the United States definitely has a lesson to learn on that.
Hello, Kading.
Good morning. I've been trying to figure out where the trash goes, and yesterday there was a guy walking around with big white bags he would carry on his head, and then he would smash boxes and cartons down and put them in the bag and leave it in a corner, and then the next morning it's gone. And then each business or place has somebody out front kind of cleaning up, like that wheelbarrow we just dropped it in, or the white bag where I put the coffee cups earlier. However, I'm not really sure where all the trash ends up. I haven't seen a public entity with trash. There's no public trash cans, no dumpsters. It's all done by hand. And we had the donkeys with the Portland cement earlier. And there's the water truck for construction. We have yet to see the rock trailer come by yet, but I'm sure we'll pass one shortly. It's about 7:30, the day is getting started. We started walking at 6, and the only thing available was coffee on the side of the road. And now we're hitting Top of On Road, starting to get busy. There's a trash guy up ahead. What a place, man. All of my chakras are open at this point. You get the breath flowing and everybody's dancing around and feeling good. And it's we're all connected at the same time. We had a short break and then we're going back and getting our class started. It feels really good to have finally begun the purpose of this whole trip. So far it's just been wandering around and trying to figure out a foreign place. And now this is the beginning of why we came. After the ceremony ended, was kind of faced with that, like, do I take a nap? Do I go walk around? We got our first Ashtanga class tonight, which I've never done before. I've just done a bunch of Vinyasa flows because Ashtanga, well, we won't talk about too much yoga right now, but Ashtanga is like a set sequence. So in a studio, if you teach the same sequence over and over, it would get really boring, so you just don't see it. I've been on search of a coffee pot because I really like coffee in the morning, and they don't start opening anything until like 7 a.m. So got some hot water and found some instant coffee, which was not an easy task. Everybody kind of lives like in the market style here, and it's about 4 o'clock. I got to get back to the school, but I stopped at one of my new favorite places, the Coffee Bean Dabsters, right across from Lakshman Jula Road. Coffee Bean Dabsters. Like, not all the, most of the coffee's milk and sugar and coffee that you get on the street. And then to actually get like espresso and Americano, which is similar to drip coffee, you gotta go to like a shop. And there's a few of them around. There's a really cool place by the school called the Secret Garden Cafe that we'll talk about later. And then there's Lakshman Jula. It goes down to the bridge, and that's where all the shopping is, like where the monkeys were yesterday. And I gotta make my way back up the mountain. I love watching this lady garden. She is dedicated. Like, her dirt looks great, but she is out there all day cultivating, working that manure in.
Right? Now, in yoga, there are the two type of postures, okay? Symmetrical and asymmetrical.
Going into class, I expected it to be a practice for like an hour and a half, but it was not that. It was mostly theory. We talked about the pre-warm-up, using the breath and getting the mind in the right place, and then doing a warm-up on the body, starting at the toes and moving up to the neck, and then the various sequences and ways to go through them when performing or planning a Vinyasa flow. So that was quite interesting. We only practiced for about 15 minutes, had a short break, and then we went back and also did a meditation class for another hour. We went into the theory behind meditation and did quite a long practice, and I don't know if I actually fell asleep or what happened, but I kind of zoned out for about 40 minutes, but my mind was very aware and thinking. It was like being in a dream state, but I was still aware of my surroundings to a certain extent, but I didn't realize when we all got up to end it, and I was a little late sitting up. However, that like sleepy grogginess that comes from a nap was not there. I have a lot to learn about meditation. I don't know a whole lot, but the theory in the class
started with going over the root of yoga, which is yuj, meaning to unite spiritually oneself with the Supreme Soul. The ultimate goal of yoga is to achieve moksha, and all these different types of yoga, Ashtanga, Kriya, Bhakti, Karma, Kundalini, Hatha, the goal is to all achieve moksha. And she kind of described it in a way like, okay, well, if we're all going to, say, New York City, and one person takes a train, and one takes a plane, and one drives, everyone has the same goal of getting to New York City. However, we're all getting there different ways. And then, in addition, we went over the 8 limbs of Ashtanga yoga, the 7th being dhyana, which is meditation, and is the uninterrupted flow of awareness on one point or one object. So the meditation is performed by focusing on one object. The easiest way to start is with the breath, and the ultimate goal is to achieve samadhi, enlightenment.
Like I said earlier, I really don't know much about this stuff, but we're definitely going to figure it out, and it has been a great day. Ceremony, classes, walking around the city, and it's about to get really busy. Our classes start at 6 a.m. in the morning and run until, well, including meals, 8:30. tomorrow night. So the like walking around the city and trying to figure out where the trash goes is going on the back burner. That was just the beginning. Now we're here for the meat. I hope y'all have a great night. I'm tired. It's like 9:30 and there's been drums going for hours outside. After talking to some of the Indians that have come to this course, I've realized this is not only like playland for Indians, but it is also like the yoga capital of the world, which I kind of knew, but I kind of didn't, because it all started here. It's arguable, like between 2,000 and 5,000 years ago. Something else we're not getting into. Have a great night. Peace.